If you've been thinking about starting calisthenics and not sure how beneficial it is, well, look no further, because I'm going to be breaking down in today's video exactly what happens when you train calisthenics for 30 days. Now, before we get into this video, I just want to clarify that I'm going to be making a lot of my talking points really centered around my personal experience and experiences that I've seen and heard from other people who've came up to me, whether it's through videos, messages, or even conversations via call. So a little bit about me is that I've been doing calisthenics now for almost 5.5 to 6 years. And I could definitely say that I've accomplished a lot of good feats, whether it's like the handstand push-ups, the 90-degree handstand push-ups, one-arm pull-up, and even started doing weighted calisthenics religiously, like no cap. But with that being said, there's a lot of challenges, obstacles that you got to pretty much overcome, but I'm gonna try to just break it down into exactly what you may experience within the first 30 days of your calisthenics journey. The first thing that you will experience is that progress will be fast, like super fast at the very start of your calisthenic journey. But understand this though, the degree of how much you actually progress will vary depending on the starting point that you're at regarding to your strength level. Meaning your level of strength when starting calisthenics will have a direct impact to how fast you can progress. For example, we can break this into 3 strength level categories: beginner, intermediate, and advanced. Those who are falling under the beginner strength will have the objective of getting 8 to 10 pull-ups and 10 to 15 dips. So in respect to this particular group, the beginners, they're going to be seeing a lot more quicker progress, quicker results, because the benchmark of getting 8 to 10 pull-ups and 10 to 15 dips is more feasible, more realistic to obtain within a shorter time frame. Because simply getting 8 to 10 pull-ups and 10 to 15 dips, objectively speaking, for most decently fit people who are active in the gym or outside of the gym, simply isn't that hard to obtain in the first place. It's more foreseeable, and I would say it's just a better benchmark to obtain if you are decently active. Now, obviously, there's going to be nuances if you're overweight or you've never done a single lift or exercise in your life, then you might think that this benchmark is going to be very difficult. But again, like I said, the amount of progress that you get is going to depend on your starting point regarding your strength relative to when you start. So again, if you are starting with some kind of experiences with the pull-ups, like say you can do like 3, maybe 4 or 5 pull-ups, then getting 10 pull-ups is going to be very, very easy. It's going to be more foreseeable in the near future. Whereas if we can't even do a single pull-up, right, then it's just going to seem like it's going to be a very distant, achievable thing, right? But hopefully that all makes sense. I want to kind of just give y'all different perspectives to how you approach this particular scenario. Now, enough about that. Let's talk about the intermediate and more advanced level of strength. I could definitely say that this gets a little bit more difficult and more trickier to assess in regards to the differences between how fast you can progress if you're an intermediate based person or more so like an advanced person. Now, if you're intermediate, your objective is to reach 12 to 15 pull-ups and 20 to 30 dips. So that means if you're going from a beginner to intermediate, you're looking to increase your pull-ups from 8 to 10 reps, aka beginner level, to now closer to 15 reps. So if an individual is doing calisthenics at a beginner level, then getting to that 15 pull-up or 20 to 30 dip strength is very feasible, but the duration of how long it will take will be slightly longer compared to someone who's trying to obtain that beginner strength level benchmark and naturally start off with just say 3 to 5 reps to getting that 8 to 10 pull-up or chin-up rep range. I hope you're following right now, because this next point that I'm about to make is going to be a real eye-opener experience. Now, the progress from intermediate to advanced in respect to your current level of strength and experience, and I'm only talking about the basic movements strictly, like just the bodyweight pull-ups, bodyweight dips, right? This progress from intermediate to advanced is gonna vary significantly more than going from a beginner to intermediate or an early beginner to a beginner. Objectively speaking, right, getting a 20 to 25 pull-up rep range is gonna be considered an advanced level of strength within your calisthenics journey and overall progress. And based off the chart from strengthlevel.com, oldschoolcalisthenics.com, and a bunch of other vlogs and more notable people who mention these specific benchmarks and levels of strengths, they all seem to come to a consensus agreement that getting to a 20 to 25 rep pull-up is going to be considered advanced. Now, it doesn't mean that you only have to get 20 or 25 reps, but it's just like the introduction level of advanced strength, right? Now, obviously, if you can do more, then you're definitely well beyond advanced, but that could be left for a whole different video because the differences between advanced and getting to elite is like a whole topic on its own, like no cap. So going back to the previous point, getting 20 to 25 reps on the pull-ups. This is going to be a very difficult challenge and feat of strength. And only a handful amount of people can really obtain this with adequate technique and form. And I quote, "The amount of work and time to achieve this strength benchmark for pull-ups is enormous. And by the time you even get to that level of strength, you'll realize that you'll already have a well-developed back." And as we all know, the process of building muscle and improving your strength adaptations is a very slow process. So it takes time. You can't just go straight from 0 to 100 in like under 30 days. So I don't anticipate anybody getting to 20 to 30 pull-ups in just 1 month, especially if you're starting from a beginner, right? Now, it's going to be exceptions for those who are more genetically gifted, but I'm trying to speak in the sense of the majority amount of people who do train for some degree. Now, I personally remember it took me about a year mark for me to hit that first 20 reps on the pull-ups on a single set without stopping. And this is coming from a guy who was able to naturally do about, 5 reps every single set on the pull-ups. Primarily because my background was I've always been decently lean, between 15 to like 16% body fat. I've been active. I played sports. I've done push-ups at the crib, like hundreds of push-ups per day. So it made sense to why it only took me about a year or maybe less than a year to get to 20 reps, even though I started from like 5 reps on the pull-ups. So me being lean, not weighing that heavy really does help and attribute to my rate of progress. Now, does that mean I progress fast? I wouldn't really consider myself as a fast progressor on the pull-ups, but it definitely wasn't super slow either, because some people struggle to get just 10 to 15 pull-ups within a year, which actually leads on to my next point. The lighter and leaner you are when it comes to training with your body weight, the more easier it's going to feel, or at least easier progress will come to you, especially with like the pull-ups and dips. So for example, we take a guy who's weighing 140 pounds and they've been training with the same level of strength as me, who weighed 150 or 160 pounds. The pull-ups is going to just come naturally easier than them. So they can achieve that, 20 rep range a lot quicker than me, or it might come to them a little bit easier with less difficulty. And on the flip side, if you're not lean and you're carrying excess amount of weight, then you're definitely going to find it more challenging, and you'll struggle to even get to that particular benchmark, whether it's beginner or especially advanced. Now, if you just started your calisthenics journey and not sure which workout split to run, how to manage your intensities, and which exercise progression to choose from, then you should definitely book a call with me, because I am hosting free 15-minute consultation calls where I'll help answer any questions that you may have. You bring along your questions, I bring along my responses, and we'll have a good conversation going. So if you're interested, feel free to hit the link in the description or check the pinned comments. Now, going on to my second major point into this video is regarding calisthenic training, is that you'll find that your training will be a lot more simplified. Whenever you're first starting off and getting to your calisthenics journey, you'll notice that your objective and your overall path to follow is going to be very clear and defined, because you're pretty much going to be focusing on just a couple of movements, and handful of movements actually. This can be done by locking in on the pull-ups, the push-ups, the inverted rows, and also the dips. So your whole objective is to pretty much master these 4 basic yet fundamental exercises, as it will set the foundation and overall tone for your later half of your journey. Now, before you start switching out any of these exercises that I just stated, you want to make sure that you get these benchmarks first. At least 8 to 10 pull-ups, 10 to 15 dips, 8 to 12 or perhaps 8 to 15 inverted rows, and of course, near 30 to 40 push-ups, like standard push-up progression. Once you get these numbers, you'll pretty much set the tone, like I said, for the rest of your calisthenics journey. And you also want to start to implement 1 to 2 skills into your overall training routine. Ideally, what you want to focus on, this is my personal preference. You can go ahead and let me down in the comments below, like what you prefer, what you've already done, is to start training the handstand and front lever. And the reason why I recommended these 2 skills is that they're unique in their own ways with a lot of potential to gain from, and they're also antagonistic muscle groups, meaning the handstand is going to be more so of a pushing exercise and the front lever is going to be more so of a pulling exercise using its respective muscle groups. Additionally to that is that they both have a easier barrier to entry to start learning the handstand and front levers. So it's not super difficult or unattainable to start learning the handstand and its progressions, nor is it super unattainable to learn the front lever and its progressions as well. But they both will start to yield very high results and pretty much bleed into your, like literally the rest of your calisthenics journey. You can start doing handstand push-ups once you learn the handstand. You can start doing like front lever rows. You might even have strength to start doing like the one-arm pull-ups and just start getting crazy with your skills. And with that being said, once you kind of lock in on these 4 fundamental exercises, you start to realize the overall strength that you're gaining within the next 30 days or however long it might be that you start training calisthenics. You'll soon realize how beneficial calisthenics really is. But hey, what do I know? If you want to see more content like this, be sure to follow me, man. I'm Tough Fitness Scout here, no cap.
Cobra trains, he's up next. Make sure y'all subscribe to him. He's #1 out here.
He's the toughest fitness guy out here.